The war on drugs wasn't just about drugs, it was also about who was being targeted. Because if this war was really about safety, about health, and about stopping addiction, then why are the same behaviors punished differently depending on who you are, where you live, how much money you have, and what you look like? A free society follows the rule of law, that is, a society in which all humans are to be equal under the same laws, in which no human has a right another human doesn't also have. If I have free speech, you also have free speech. If you and I both commit the same crime, we should both face the same consequences, ceteris paribus. Now, let's start with some basic facts. Rich and poor Americans have a stark difference in outcome from the war on drugs. And Black Americans and white Americans use drugs at roughly the same rates. That's according to the CDC, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, and years of consistent data. But Black Americans are nearly 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana-related offenses. In some cities and counties, it's 10 times more likely. This isn't about behavior. This is about bias baked into enforcement. During the 1980s, the Reagan administration passed laws that imposed a 100-to-1 sentencing disparity between crack and powder cocaine. That meant 5 grams of crack carried the same mandatory sentence as 500 grams of powder cocaine. But what's the difference between the two? Chemically, not much. The real difference was demographics. Crack was cheaper, more commonly used in Black communities. On the other hand, powder cocaine was used more often in whites and affluent circles. The result? A generation of Black people sentenced to decades in prison for the same substance that white users were walking away from with a fine or rehab. The disparities go far beyond cocaine. Across America, police departments target low-income neighborhoods for raids and street-level enforcement. Stop and frisk policies disproportionately affect Black and Latino men. Drug dog alerts are statistically more likely to be false positives in minority-targeted traffic stops. And what happens after arrest is just as unequal. Wealthier defendants can afford private lawyers, bail, and diversion programs, whereas poorer defendants are left with overworked public defenders and more likely to accept plea bargains, even if they're innocent. This system doesn't protect the vulnerable, it preys on them. A drug conviction isn't a slap on the wrist, it's a life sentence even after the prison bars are gone. A person with a drug felony may lose their right to vote, be barred from public housing, become ineligible for student loans, be denied job opportunities, face travel restrictions, and even be separated from their children. One arrest can create generational damage, especially in communities already struggling with poverty, underperforming schools, and over-policing. This isn't just policy, it's systemic punishment of the poor and the marginalized. We're told the drug war is about keeping communities safe. But look closer and it becomes clear. The communities most harmed by drug abuse are the same ones most harmed by drug enforcement. The health crisis of addiction is turned into a criminal record, not a recovery plan. And the tools of justice are weaponized against those least able to fight back. It's not a coincidence, it's a pattern. And it's been repeated for decades with devastating consistency. Laws may be written in neutral language, but their outcomes are consistently unequal. They are not neutral in effect. When one group is punished more harshly for the same behavior, when one group is targeted more aggressively, and when entire neighborhoods are treated like enemy territory, that's not law and order, that's a broken system. Let's now uncover why you can take away the supply temporarily, but you can't take away the demand.